Morning, everyone. So today is July 6th, and today is the level 100 cap unlock date. So now we have the new server level of level 100, and that will be remaining the same for 40 days. Yes, that is correct, 40 days. So we're going to be stuck in this range for quite a while, but I figured I wanted to make a video discussing the ways to maximize your XP gain to reach level 100 as fast as possible. As I imagine most of you right now are around the level 96, 97 range. A bunch of you probably also at level 98. So I figured it's a good way to talk about how to maximize your XP gain to get to level 100 as fast as possible, because that's ultimately all of our goals right now is to reach level 100 and immediately start grinding for the new stuff. So, while I look for a daily party, I'm going to quickly talk about some of the ways to maximize your XP. So I guess I'm going to have to make one here. So the main one is to ensure that you're doing your dailies in a full party, because your dailies in a full party give a 25% XP boost. A lot of people tend to try to do some of their dailies solo. I highly recommend you don't do this. Make sure you always have a full group before going into your daily runs. Similarly, you can be greedy and only go for being a leader, and that will give you a slight XP boost as well as leader boxes, but you might not always be able to do that for one reason or another. So don't entirely rely on that. And the bonus XP you get for being a leader isn't all that amazing anyway, so it's not a huge deal. What matters most is that you're doing your dailies in a full party. The other thing I want to mention is keep an eye on your XP speed. So something important that the game is going to do come Thursday's update, which is what they've done in the past couple of updates, is they increased the XP range for the XP boost. So if you don't know what the XP boost is it's an increase in your XP gain from events and from all sources. You can check your current XP speed or XP multiplier by looking at your profile page. As you can see right now, for level 98, it is at standard speed. Usually what they will do is on Thursday's update, they will up the range of what levels have the XP multiplier. So most likely after Thursday's update, level 98 will have a slight increase to XP gain. What this means is that you should be saving your weekly events, TikTok, and hacker group for Thursday's update. And this will allow you to maximize the amount of XP you gain from those weekly events. Now, you don't have to save all of them for that moment, but it's a good way to ensure that you're going to get the most XP possible. The next thing that you want to do is make sure you don't miss any events. Now, this is pretty self-explanatory, but there are some events that give a large amount of XP as opposed to some other ones which don't give as much XP. One thing to note is that the time-limited events aren't actually affected by XP multipliers, so they will always give the same amount of XP. I think this is only the multipliers, though, that are decreased and not increased. So, for example, if you're over the level cap, and your XP multiplier is 60%, then the time-limited event will still give the same amount of XP. But if your multiplier is increased, then you will gain more XP from the event. This goes for all your events, so you want to do your good times and duo dungeon every day. You want to make sure you're doing your PvP every day, just your first match. You want to make sure you're doing all your your career skills every day. You maxed out your solo XP. You want to make sure that you're turning in your power of club emblems, which I do also recommend saving for Thursday as well. You're turning in your stage stones. And you're also doing AFK training overnight. Now, while this isn't a huge increase in XP, it is still an increase in XP regardless. So you also want to make sure you don't miss the club events. These give a good amount of XP. You do your quizzes, and you also make the nightly event. The one that gives the most XP is probably Defend Boss on Saturdays. Which also goes for the weekends, is you want to make sure you're online during the weekends, because that guy got a Draconic, good for him. Because on the weekends, you get extra XP from those events. You get extra XP from, the extra activity reward chests, and you also get extra XP for being online at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And for staying online for, I think it's 30 minutes. You also want to make sure that you're up to date on your story quests, as story quests are not affected by XP multipliers, and they're actually the fastest source of XP. So, for example, when I unlocked the level 97 story quests, that actually got me to about halfway to level 98. That's how much XP they actually give. So if you want to save them, you can, but there's not really worth in saving them because they always give the same amount of XP regardless. But it's not a bad idea to save them. But since we're trying to get to the highest level as quickly as possible, you might as well do your story quests now. As I mentioned before, they are not affected by XP multipliers at all. They always give a flat rate of XP. One thing that's very important is to make sure that you're maximizing your dragon hunting points every day. Or every week, rather. So you want to make sure that you get all of the bonus dragon hunting points from the mall, and you also want to make sure that you're using all of them. Now, you don't have to use all of your dragon hunting points. I mean, you don't have to use all of your dragon hunting attempts. Like, for example, you don't have to use all the attempts that you have when you don't have points. They give you less XP, but that does help. But it's not necessary. But it does help maximize your complete XP gain if you want to do that. So make sure you buy those dragon hunting, the marker dragon hunts, to make sure you get the bonus points. Now, even though we do have less attempts at dragon hunting, the XP gain from it has been increased from before. The only thing that sucks is now it's a little harder to get ally gifts, but, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Now, if you're also doing dragon hunting, this is the one you want to look out for, the Veil. Because all you can do, especially if you're the leader, is you can just sit in the middle and everything just dies. Oh, my chat's messed up again. The last thing I can say to maximize your XP is to make sure you're buying Mirage Potions. or you use your Mirage Potions. You always get one for free from the activity chests, and you can also buy the other ones from the store as well. They're very cheap, and you can only use, I think, like 4 or 5 a day. I forget what it is, but just make sure you use those as well. So as long as you're doing all of your events, which includes Good Times and your Duo Dungeon, because trust me, those actually give a lot of XP. I've always neglected those, but they do give quite a lot of XP. Then you pretty much should be golden. Now, if you're fresh at level 98 like myself, and I think most people are who've been playing, you know, who are like active in the game, it's probably going to take about a week and a half to reach level 100. I'm not sure yet. We have to see just how big the XP increase will be on Thursday. And from what I remember, they also increased the XP again on Monday. So we'll basically have 2 times where the XP rate is going to go up for level 98 and then probably also level 99. So that will be very nice. Fingers crossed that's what they decide to do, but we don't really know for sure. Okay. So if there's any other tips that I missed, make sure to mention them in the comments. But I think that's all the ones that I can think of in order to maximize your XP gain. Just do all your events. Make sure you're maximizing your dragon hunting. Make sure you're maximizing your dailies by going in a full party. Use Mirage Potions. You know, Market Dragon Hunts I mentioned already. Don't miss the time-limited events. Keep up to date on your story quests. Maximize your solo XP. And I think you should be good. Just keep working at it every day, and eventually you'll reach there. It might take a little while at first, and that's perfectly understandable. But remember, we have this cap for 40 days, and level 100 here is going to last for a long, long time. So make sure that you're ready. And yeah, so until next time, I will see you guys when I reach level 100, and we'll talk about all of the changes that go with that.